Hey everyone, I'm Norn Queen Alexis and welcome back to the channel and welcome, Kovu. Look at that face. Look at that face. Look at that face. He loves you. Today, we are taking a look at the smallest army in Warhammer 40k, the short kings themselves, the Leagues of Votann. While their grudge books may be big, their models sure are small. Okay, I'm done with the short puns. It's only a small list of them, I promise. So this is not my army. I want to point this out. This is Victor's army. This is an army that I fully painted, and I'm very, very proud of this army. I'm very happy with how this army came out, and I think it looks absolutely terrific. Now, could it be painted better? Yes. Oh, there's one model I didn't paint. But could this army be painted better? Yes, there are much better painters than me. But I think I did a fantastic job, especially with the converted land train. We're going to get into what that is in just a moment. But first, what is everything? Well, I didn't know because I had to label everything. So, yeah, that tells you how little I know about this army. I have fought it a few times. I know that it is a decent army, and the way Victor runs it tends to just be land fortress with dudes in it, drive across table. In my opinion, it's a little bit of a boring army. We don't have the Sagittars in it. I really want to get the Sagittars for this army, but I want something more older, if that makes sense. I want it to look older, like they're older models. Like I want something like the Land Fortress. I have an idea. I promise. But we will be getting Sagittars for this army in the future. But what do we have in this army? Well, we have a Call, whose arm is somehow mythically dangling off of him, and I don't know how this happened. I think this model looks absolutely beautiful. It needs a little bit of base work to match the rest of the models in the army, but I think it looks great as is. Then we have an Iron Hair Champion, and these guys are insane. Again, he needs a little bit of base work. But these guys are crazy. They're everything I want Terminators to be. They're just better. Then we have a Grimnir. This is the Psychic Dwarf, who is pretty cool. I don't like the idea of them having Psychers. I kind of like the a little bit more fantasy-esque old world dwarf vibe where they didn't have Psychers. But I get it. I still need to finish these bases. Wow, there's a lot of models here I didn't finish. Then we have a Brokir Iron Master with his retinue. I hate that these count as models, but how drones don't. Because these take up transport capacity, and the drones don't. Which means that this model plus its unit can't fit inside the fortress. So that's big dumb. Over here, we have some models that I picked up from Gen Con that I painted up for this army. And she is a, what is it called? An Artificer Halfling that I feel fits into the vibe of the Leagues of Votann. And I kind of painted her up to match. And I want her to be used as part of this army. So she could be used as a Brokir Iron Master or just something else. Or just a member of his squad. Or their squad. Her squad. Yeah, their squad. Because it's a lot of them. And then I picked up these from a tabletop game where aliens invade like a kitchen. And this is what they look like. And they kind of fight each other. It's okay. I think it looks cool. It's got a little minigun. It's like a slug robot thing. I thought it was cool. So leading the army is Uthar the Destined. This is the White Dwarf himself, as you can see from my little note card there, which is definitely not a piece of paper that I ripped up to put the names on so I don't forget things and had to re-record this video because I got all their names wrong. That is definitely not what happened, and I think you're making things up. This was painted by my buddy Lee. Lee's work is absolutely fantastic. Like, I cannot... This looks insanely detailed, and I love it. And he painted this in like a day. He was just like, oh, a model. Oh, let me just, oh, and it's done. And I was like, holy shit, Lee. Jesus. But yeah, I figured the White Dwarf is a good stand-in for Uthar the Destined. It's a fitting model for him. Then we have the Ironhear Hearthguard. These are the Terminator equivalents. And what's cool is they kind of have a Saturnine Terminator look going on with them. And I really like that. You'll also notice that their bases are all very similar with this blue, dark blue water effect going on them. This was made by using a white, just Corax white, blotchy paint underneath it, and then going over it with Tezzeret speed paint contrast. And then I went over that with a water effect from Army Painter. And that's how I got this effect. And the black sand and rocks, that's all just Icelandic black sand. Like, yeah. So we got some really, really cool models. Again, I'm really happy with these faces. They look, in my opinion, these are the best faces I've ever painted. I'm very happy with this army. I tried to make their armor look a bit more gritty, a bit dirtier, as if it's been used more than the regular Kin's armor. Behind them, we have the Brokir Thunderkin. These all have a gravity weapon, and they kind of look like they're in overalls. I like them. They remind me of like what would be under like is a Terminator-esque armor. It's like an exo-suit that goes over them, and I really like it. I love the vibe of it, just to carry these big-ass weapons into battle. Then we have the Hearthkin warriors. These are all kitted out to have all of their weapons, all of their sergeants and everything. And again, you can see their faces are painted really well. I'm going to keep saying their faces are painted well. I think I did a great job on them. I am patting myself on the back because I haven't seen this army closed up in a long time. I also tried to get a mix of different skin tones in there. That face does not look good. But yeah. I tried to get different skin tones and enough robots to go along with them. Then we have the Berserks. Now, what's cool is this army kind of reminds me of like a more Celtic, like 800s Viking-esque, or maybe even 700s Viking-esque kind of feel to them with a, dark tech thrown over them. I like that their lore is that they're miners and things like that, and they destroy entire planets regardless of populations to get what they need for themselves because they don't view the Imperium as an ally anymore. And the Imperium barely looks at them as human. They consider them Xenos now, even though before that they were trusted allies of the Imperium. They're even playable in Heresy if you play them as a militia. So that's kind of cool. Then we have the Hearthkin Pioneers, the Bikers. And yeah, they're all on their grav trikes, which these things are a pain in the ass. I absolutely hated these models. Putting these together and painting them step by step was, for no reason, brutally difficult, and I absolutely hated it. Now, that is the main army. So what is this, you might be asking? Well, back in ye olden times of Warhammer Epic, the Squats had a very particular vehicle that was exclusive to them, and that was the land train. So I tried to recreate it here, and this counts as 3 Hecaton land fortresses. So I tried to recreate the look of the land train itself, and on the inside of this, you can see it's piloted by one of the robots. It's got all of its weaponry, or at least stand-in weaponry. And in the back, it has even more guys aiming their guns out to get the appropriate weapons that the vehicle would be having. This one is actually just a Hecaton, just that had its wheels jacked and is up on one of these things just to get it carried away, because this is what's left of their Hecaton that they landed with originally on the planet before being abandoned. That's kind of their lore. And then the last part is the most characterful version of it, which is the brewery. And they have their alcohol up top. They're gambling and, you know, doing whatever dwarves do. You got the guys on the back with the guns, and even on the other side, I think there's another... No, there's just these two with guns, which are the correct guns for the vehicle itself. And this part is actually magnetized on, so this just connects right there. So it's for easy storage. We originally had these connected to each other. We since took that off because it was a pain in the ass to constantly take on and off during games. Because the way that we imagine the land fortress working is, while it's traveling to conserve power, it would all travel together. But each individual one could operate on its own, so that they would separate during games, and they would just count as 3 Hecaton land fortresses. I'm also really happy with this Hecaton. I think it came out really well. And I wanted to show it depowered. So during game, it counts as, you know, fully active and everything, but just to be sitting up there as if it got its wheels jacked. I love this army. Now, we do have an addition to this army, which is the Salvagers. And you can see the Icelandic price for this, which is 7,495. You can convert that if you feel. And we still need to add this unit. And we also have the other unit, the kill team, the other kill team of them to add to this force. But Victor is pretty content with this force as is. He thinks it's perfect. So we all know that that's incorrect, and I want to add to this force. I want 3 units of these, 3 units of these. I want to finish the other call that's in there so that he has both weapon options. Probably actually make Uthar the Destined, because we do have him. He's just chilling down there. I want to finish her squad. I want to get more of these. I want to get more Berserks, because these guys are really cool. They're a pain in the ass to build, but they're really cool. And I want some Sagittars. Victor doesn't like the Sagittar. I think it looks cool. It looks like it's from the Legos, and I absolutely love it. So yeah, short video, I know. It's just a little bit, but I hope this inspired you to do your Leagues of Votann army. This army is painted entirely with contrast paints, and I tried to speed paint this entire army in 1 week. So we blew through this army as quickly as we could and then added to it later. So yeah, this was a lot of fun, and I want to add more to this army in the future. So if you think I should, comment down below and tell me what I should get. If there are things that I should avoid, I think I should get more of these. But if there are things that I should avoid, let me know. And I hope you got your motivation for today with this army. And yeah, keep it up, Short Kings. As always, I'm Norn Queen Alexis. If you want to support the channel, link Patreon down there. I'm Norn Queen Alexis. I love you guys. Bye.